Welcome to Manifest, the podcast. Today we're going to be talking about divine counterparts. I just got done doing some tarot readings for myself. Um, and this is kind of a topic that I had before, and it's been coming up a lot of the time in the readings. So I figure let's have a discussion about it on the podcast. A lot of people, um, they want true love. They may have never experienced true love ever in their life. Maybe they had only experienced it with God. I know on some other videos I had talked about having a secure attachment, and some people have only had a few relationships where they felt completely secure, and one of them could be with God. So, um, this kind of goes along with this as well. So someone sent me this red string, and the theory goes that the red string, you wear it on your left side because that is your receptive side, your feminine side of the body. Also, red represents uh, good luck and wealth in Asian cultures, but a lot of other cultures as well. And then if you go more into it, like the chakras, red is the root chakra, which represents fire. It represents security, safety. A lot of your survival um, instincts, feelings. That's where the secure attachment comes in. So the theory says that by wearing this and having the intention of attracting your divine counterpart, that's what it does. Especially if you believe in soul contracts, that everyone signs a soul contract before they are here on this 3D realm, which I do believe. I believe I signed a soul contract to experience and learn a lot of the things I had learned. So I fully resonate with that. Also, this is doesn't have to do anything with divine counterparts, but I'm looking at it right now. This ring right here, this is a copper ring. Copper is good for connectivity, channeling energy. Um, that's why a lot of uh, wires use copper, and then even kind of has cleansing benefits too for like copper pipes. A lot of copper pipes are used to transmit water for like water lines. But yeah, it's a good conductor of energy, so it holds energy. That's why I wear this ring on my right hand and the pointer finger, because it's like I'm directing my energy consciously. Everything I do now is very intentional when it comes to my energy. Um, anything really, it all comes back to the universal laws and the law of attraction. Um, I rarely do things without intention at this point, and I'm always seeing what energies are affecting me, if any at all. And I try to protect myself in ways that I know have worked in the past. Always looking for new ways, new information. I'm a avid learner. I like to learn. I like to constantly learn. That's part of me being a Gemini. I like to look for information, especially on the topics that I like, which would be manifestation, spirituality, science, health, anything really. I'm diverse on a lot of subjects. I kind of get obsessed with certain things, and then I delve deep into them and just learn as much as I can. So I guess you could say I'm a jack of all trades. But going back to the topic of divine counterpart, so I believe that everyone has a divine counterpart, but you have to be aligned with your soul contract for this union to take place. So what does that look like and what does that mean? Okay, so to have your divine counterpart come into your life, I think first off, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, you have to believe in soul contracts, which means you also have to believe in a higher power. That could be God, that could be the universe, some type of creator energy that is above yourself and other humans. I think this is essential to the whole concept of soul contracts because what is the point of having a divine counterpart or a soul contract if there's no bigger purpose? I believe everyone has a purpose here on this earth, um, but because you believe in a higher power, that also means there has to be balance, universal law. There needs to be duality. So with the good also comes with the bad. So I'll relate it to God and the devil, angels and demons, same thing. This is where it gets a little interesting for the divine counterpart in terms of calling them in because a part of the duality of the universe, there's a constant push and pull going on. So let's say you are good, and we'll say good is God. Um, I'll just leave it at that. I mean, really, the universe doesn't look at good or bad, it just looks at energy in terms of what you are. People more so give a label on it as to what they see as good or as to what they see as bad. But the duality of the universe just balances out the energy. So what does that mean? That means whatever energy you hold and whatever energy you put out, that's the energy that you're gonna get back. So in terms of the good and bad, if you put out good energy, the laws of the universe state that you'll get back good energy. And vice versa. If you put out bad energy, you will get bad energy back. Um, this has been my experience with life in general. When I was younger, I mean, I always knew this, so I tried to always be righteous. That's what my culture calls it. It's called pono. That's being righteous, doing the right thing. So from a young age, I was taught this, um, and I tried to live my life in that way. So I didn't really have too hard of a problem, although I did go down a path of being derailed off of my soul's purpose. But to attract your divine counterpart, you need to be on your soul's purpose. So, what does that look like? That looks like having a relationship with the higher power, the universe, God, speaking to Him. I'll just say Him. It could be a her. I mean, there's really no gender. Speaking to Him and kind of surrendering to the will of the universe, being at service for your purpose and also the greater good of humanity and everyone, not just humanity. I said humanity just because we're talking about people, but in reality, it's more the universe, the greater good of the universe. So we're talking about animals, we're talking about plants, we're talking about um, Mother Earth, Father Sky, like everything, the planet. So everything that is encompassed within the universe, knowing your role in the system and fully accepting that role in the system. So for me, that would be a kahuna, which is a shaman. From a young age, I've had spiritual gifts and I've always liked helping people. So that is my purpose here. I've fully accepted that and have chosen to step in that direction fully. And I feel fulfilled doing that. So that's what that looks like, having a secure relationship with the higher power, God, and the universe. And by doing this, you are resonating at a high frequency, the frequency of authenticity. You're being authentic to yourself, knowing who you are, who your ancestors are, what blood runs in your veins, the different cultures that make up your background, understanding the history that comes along with it, and fully accepting everything for what it is at this very moment, like right now, fully accepting your past, the things that you may not have wanted to go through, but had learned a lesson from. Could have been a hard time, might have been hard to look at, but if you did the shadow work, worked through your trauma, healed a lot of childhood wounds and even generational curses, then you are now on the other side where you fully accepted your journey and the path you're on. And only then will your divine counterpart even come into play at all. This is because you are aligned. Um, we can go a little bit deeper into it if you talk about astrology. So, like I said, I'm a Gemini, but right now I'm in my North Node, and my North Node is Aquarius. So, Pluto is in Aquarius, and will be in Aquarius for about like 30 years. So, that represents change, mindset, transformation, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. Like I said, I fully accepted my purpose, my position on earth, and I've aligned with God, and I'm choosing to walk in faith, knowing that what is mine will be given to me. I'll receive it, no matter what had happened in the past. If I lost opportunities or it just wasn't the right time, I wouldn't say lost. I would more so go with it wasn't the right time, or maybe there are some things I had to learn, so I wasn't quite ready. Um, but yeah, and a lot of people say this, that your divine counterpart is not gonna be what you expect. I don't. Okay, so I guess that makes sense. What immediately came up to me, to my mind, right there was, now that I'm in my North Node, a lot of the things that had happened in the past were all considered South Node, um, South Node frequencies or South Node experiences. So you can't really compare it to that. That's why I think it would be a shift of person. Like it might not be what I envisioned, because now I'm in a different timeline where what I want and what I truly desire is different than a year ago or a few years ago. So I can see why people will say that it'll be different, because I've changed, I've transformed my mindset, um, my overall energy, like my whole vibe is just different. If you've known me throughout my journey, you can probably see the difference in my energy, especially mindset. Uh, if not, you maybe have seen this in other videos how my energy shifted. I'm constantly growing. Like I said, I like to learn. But that's normally when a lot of transformation happens and your divine counterpart comes in. So right now I'm 36. I was married for 11 years. I have children. I have sons. Uh, so I've done a lot of learning, going through a lot of different experiences, and I feel like now I'm more so ready to fully love the other person, my partner, in the way that they deserve to be loved. And even me, I'm more aware of what I need, able to voice it and walk away if that's not aligned with my true desires. It's a process. You have to heal wounds of abandonment, uh, self sabotage, all these different traumas that may have held you back in the past. And like I said, to really attract your true person, you need to have looked yourself in the mirror and be completely honest with both sides, the good and the bad. And for me, because I'm masculine, I'm male, I needed to get in touch with my feminine energy, which I feel like a lot of guys have a hard time with, a lot of men. Uh, they don't really express their emotions, they're not um, receptive to receiving feedback or information that is needed but uh, is helpful. So, uh, like I said, I've done a lot of learning, and then some men don't like to reach out and ask for help, especially when they really need it. So I feel like that's a maturity thing that goes along with the journey as well. I feel like that's more of like a younger, even possible like early 20s. That's when you kind of grow out of that. But there are instances where you still fall back into that pattern. I see this in older men where they are struggling but they don't ask for help. That could be like a pride or ego thing, um, especially in older generations. Just recognizing the patterns, like I said, of communication, emotional intelligence, and things like that. But that's basically all I have for this video about divine counterparts. At this time, like I said, I'm just entering into my North Node. Like it just started. My I've been in my North Node, I would say, for a year, but I had to fulfill a blood contract that I had when I was younger as a child. That's gonna be in my new book that I'm releasing. It's kind of an autobiography, or the closest thing to an autobiography that I'll be releasing. So be on the lookout for that if you're interested in that. I know some people they did say they wanted to read that. So pretty soon. I mean, I still have some more work to do on it, but yeah, I'll be releasing that soon. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you got something from this video. Maybe you resonated. You can relate. Uh, so in the description box of this channel, there is the information for my Facebook. I will post a link to this video to my Facebook. And on my Facebook, there is a link to my website, which all my services I offer are on there. So if you're interested, go over there, check it out, share these videos, comment, like, subscribe, share, all that stuff. I'm trying to grow this channel, um, trying to expand my influence. Although with the spiritual gifts I have, I'm already influential. It's just I'm more so trying to branch out on the internet and grow my business. But also my books. So right now I have two books I released. If you're interested in those, message me. You can message me here on my Facebook. Um, I will post on my other socials as well. So like TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, um, about the podcast Manifest. So it's MAN dash A dash Fest Manifest. That's the podcast. But yeah, be on the lookout for other content. And as always, share the videos and have a great day.